Despite the day-to-day running of the college farm largely unaffected due to COVID-19, the same can't be said for the students and lecturers of Gurteen College who've been forced to work and study from home for the past number of weeks. I spoke with Gurteen College Principal John Parry to find out how the students have adjusted and how preparations are going for their exams.
It is a strange time for everybody, and in reality, if you choose to come to Gurteen and to study agriculture, online learning isn't necessarily your natural habitat. So both our teachers and our students have found that a big change in the process. But I have to say, both groups, teachers and students, have really embraced it, working really hard. Some students taking to a duck to water, absolutely loving the process of working online. Other students requiring a bit of extra help and some phone calls and some guidance, but we're doing our best to making sure that everybody has a fair chance to pass at the end of the process. So I hope there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think the news that we're receiving from government and HSE suggests that the community spirit, which has been evident in Ireland, and the work that we've all done has made a difference. And the anticipation at the moment is that we will return to some sort of normality in the autumn. What that normality looks like is difficult to judge just at the moment, but I think what we're also very clear is it won't be an exact replica of what used to happen, partly because our students have really enjoyed some of the online learning, so we'll do a little bit more of that, but partly because realistically our lecture theatre that seats 90 people probably is not going to be an appropriate environment to put 90 people in immediately in September. I think there'll be some regulations that limit the number of people we can teach in there. We've got no intention of reducing the number of students we take. We're actually, in terms of application numbers, we're very comfortable. We've got the student numbers where we expect it to be. There's one or two places left, and we're keen to fill those up. And ultimately, if we recruit the same number of students we had last year, what the plan will be is simply to deliver that in a slightly different way. So we've always delivered our practicals in small class sizes, and they've always been outside. So I think the risks there are relatively small, and we'll make some adjustments but continue with that. We'll need to think very seriously about how we deliver some of our theory based, and that's going to be smaller groups, it's going to be tutorials rather than lectures, and it's going to be online delivery. So lots of people are talking about blended delivery, and that is going to be the way forward for us. So obviously it's different because we would normally be holding open days and we'd be inviting parents, families and youngsters to come and have a look at the facilities here at Gurteen, to meet the staff, to talk to current students and just to have a feel about what it's like to study here. We can't do that at the moment, even though we're anticipating being able to welcome students back in the autumn. So on the 9th of June, we've got a planned virtual open event. And the idea behind that is that we've got a number of staff who will be positioned around and about the campus, and they'll be available to take questions and answers. And then we've got a few ex-students who have done some pieces on their iPhones and their mobile devices at home, really just talking about how they found being a student at Gurteen and trying to give a feel for what it might be like to study here in September 2020. When COVID first struck, our number one priority was the welfare of our animals, and our number two priority was our students, and in terms of that process. So the dedicated team of farm staff have actually continued to work on site all the way through the COVID process. They've worked differently. They haven't shared the Jeep. They haven't had two people in the tractor cab even when we've got passenger seats. We've done all of those correct things. But it is important to state that our calves, our lambs, they're being looked after and they're doing absolutely fantastic. The weather has been a real bonus for the farm.
Although normal day-to-day activity at Gurteen College has been disrupted due to COVID-19, students and lecturers are still preparing and are in the middle of exams here, and the hope is come September that normal classwork and practical examinations will be able to resume in some capacity at Gurteen College, albeit under social distancing guidelines. Today we're here at Gurteen College where I'm going to be speaking to Paul Byrne, who's the dairy herd manager, about the cancellation of grass and muck 2020 and how this is going to impact on the grazing management on the farm. And also we're going to take a look at the new facilities that are here on the farm, such as the new milking parlour.
We were kind of set up for there to go for last Thursday. It's a big disappointment, I suppose, to the college. It's good advertisement. It's over 12,000, I think, at the last one, and it's a pity there that they haven't been here. Look, it's a great event to have around the college. It gets us out there, it gets us known, and I suppose that's what it's all about. It's kind of free publicity. I suppose on the grazing season, I suppose it doesn't really affect us that much. We have another plot of land at the back of the farm, which we kind of get the grazing up to date, our covers up high down there to keep us going for the grass and muck. But look, we hope that they'll be back to us next year, and we look forward to working with them when they do come back. We're just actually a little bit later cutting this year. Just we wanted to bulk up a little bit, and we're hoping to cut on Monday coming. We're going to mow Sunday and cut on Monday. Grass covers are struggling a little bit because of the drought. We could do a little bit more. Growth there last week was 52. We'd like it to be, and demand was 51. So we're kind of what they call magic day, I suppose. But it just wasn't as good as other years because we were lacking that just bit of rain, bit of moisture. But we're up to date on manure and everything, and we're just hoping grass might just burst on. Yeah, it's there now, but look, I think some of the grass that I had there for grass and muck kind of could be gone too heavy, so I'm hoping just to mow that out maybe next Monday as well, and hope for the best. We started breeding on the 24th, and we're 3 weeks breeding last Thursday, and to date we've 3 weeks submission rate. We were 89%, and I think the national average is 90, so we're happy enough with that. And we're a week into repeats, and we've 21 repeats as of today, which isn't too bad. So what we do is we do 7 weeks AI, all black and whites, and then we go 3 weeks with the Hereford bull and 3 weeks with an Angus bull. So at the present we're milking 220 cows, full pedigree. I suppose I started here 3 years ago, and we started into the breeding. And I suppose what we're trying to do is we're trying to improve fertility, EBI and milk solids all the time. But this year we changed our view of the bulls. While still looking at them three, we kind of looked at a cow type as well. We found with high EBI we were going for a smaller cow, but we don't want a real small cow either. So we looked at a cow type and management and beef. The beef thing has to come into it as well because we finish all our own. I started here in 2017, there was 180 cows, and that's 3 years ago, and we're 240 now, and there's talks of going to 300, which I suppose if we get our grass grower right, we're well capable of, because we have a state-of-the-art facility with the new milking parlour. Yeah, September 18 we moved into it. It's a 30-unit herringbone parlour, Delaval, supplied by Portummal Agri. It's a great job. We used to milking a 12-unit, so an hour and a half in the morning, about an hour and 20 minutes in the evening, 200 cups on, cups off, washed out, you're done. It's automatic cluster movers, auto wash, that's all the bells and whistles. We've put in a new cubicle shed with all easy fix slats, a super job. Our shed up there now has extra wide passageways, which the cows coming out of it this year were the very same as they're out in grass. There wasn't a bit of muck on, they were just spotless. And we put in a rope scraper, which is a great job. So before we were kind of juggling them around, it was kind of like musical chairs. The lay calvers were in the suckler shed, and looking as cold as day, we were hoping as cold as the calf to be going out, but look, the weather permitting, it didn't always work. It was kind of just musical chairs. But look, we have a great team in the college, and we kind of just work together to get things done and keep things moving. The cows are doing about 27, 28 litres. Our protein is 3.46, our fat is 3.87, cell count is 90, which is very good. I'd like to see the butter fat maybe improve a little bit in the next couple of days. We're in 24-hour grazing blocks, which we find better because we're getting better graze outs.
Grass and muck has fallen victim, like so many other events, to COVID-19. However, the day-to-day running of the farm here in Gurteen College is still the same. You know, cows still have to be milked, silage still has to be cut. The hope is though that students will be able to return to the farm and give a helping hand at some stage in the near future.